smart, dropping bombs on your nipples. Mic drop, then alarms, now they press snooze. Mainstream spinning, but I won't play that game. A nuclear flow, turning that juice from motivational flame. Megan Fox crushing all the talking heads as they spoon feed their paid piggies. Gotta keep them misled with blazing Lego vision. I see all the signs exposed in the agenda. Miss these epic rhymes. Intellectual assault on the mainstream. Not in the current of the mainstream. Medium smart will never be silenced. They won't extend buying appliance. Pretend intellectual assault on the mainstream. Never ride in the current of the lame stream. Bro, I can burn water, but I'm spitting facts. Top shelf, sorting mass facts, reporting news, and not like you make it. I'm award-winning, and I don't have to fake it. Megan Fox, an authentic voice, giving the masses a hard-hitting choice. That umbrella guy, hammering his song, while Megan Fox rights those wrongs. Now we hit the end of this tune, declaring what it isn't even new. Making dinner and still chopping rhymes like granite. In my area code, please, you're not even on my planet. Yeah, you're outclassed and you never knew. By the time I press singulars are through, breaking stories while you're chasing hunches. I'm a news titan, never pulling punches.
And just because I watch a video or parts of a video doesn't mean I'm a stalker.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have got a very special announcement tonight, Tug. It's finally done. I finally got it set up. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what?
Super Tips.
Oh.
So let me walk you through what Super Tips is. But before I do that, let me show you what it looks like and what it sounds like. You want to hear a little something from my dad?
I don't know how to make this work. What do I look like? The nerd herd.
So Super Tips is a really cool, new, innovative way to tip creators like Super Chats, except the company only keeps 10%. So 90% of the Super Tips go to the creator. It is really cool. You can use AI voices. And by the way, these are fake voices. These are not the actual people. These are no one you've ever heard of before. It's just a coincidence. There are AI voices that sound like people for satire and parody purposes only. No one believes that these are the actual people. No one actually believes that Darrell Brooks is reading Super Chats for me. So just so you know, no one's trying to pass off any AI voices as real people. This is simply your words repeated in an AI voice for a Super Chat. It is really fun. I'm going to show you how it works. You're going to go to, and it's pinned at the top of the chat. You're going to go to https://supertip.gg/Megan Fox. So it's supertip.gg/Megan Fox. So check this out. This is where you will go. This is what you will see when you go to that site. And what you do is you can choose one of these voices. We got Darrell Brooks.
Your Honor, what are the grounds that you overruled my building of a no girls allowed box fort?
We've got Florida Woman.
John, get away from the window. My anxiety is over the roof. You'll get a nail in your eye.
We've got me. If you want to send me a super chat in my own voice, don't make me pull this chat over. I have a wooden spoon. My dad.
Stop talking about your hair. No one cares about that, for crying out loud.
Nick Ricada.
If you need a lawyer, just hit me up. Transfer my retainer into my commissary account.
That's a new one. I didn't hear that before. Oh, God. And we have Pregnancy Faker.
Use this voice by 5 p.m. or I'm having the babies.
And already we have a few of you who have sent a few of those. So let me play those for you so you can see how it works. I'm going to embiggen myself on the screen so you can see the supers large. Here we go. George Desco, thanks for the 5.
I love it.
It sounds just like my dad. It's so crazy. And Shelly Green.
Since losing my husband in Feb and then my lil companion Jack a month later, both you and Tug have helped me with my sanity. Depression is real.
Aw,
Thank you.
Shelley. That was really sweet. And I am sorry for your loss, by the way. And I'm glad that that we're helping you find some laughs. And then you can also send a text chat just like this, like SF did. So it'll be just like a super chat. And I can read it. SF, thanks for the 5. Megan, you should post your Laura Owens music playlist to the Maricopa County's X page. Then they would have some great music to listen to during her trial. Yeah, so interestingly enough, Tug, that's what we're gonna talk about some of that tonight. What's going on? And I decided tonight we are going to do a combo stream. Those of you who are following What the Hales, you're going to be very interested in this stream. And those of you following the Laura Owens case also need to get into the What the Hales case. Consider this your diving in point for both stories, because we have 2 lawyers involved who are so similar that it's almost uncanny. And we need to figure out which one of them is the worst lawyer. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think we really could have. It's like a nuclear arms race of stupid, you know.
Also true. You know, I don't know how to get the super chat off of my screen though. I may have. Let's see what happens if I do this. No, that doesn't work. Well, it's just going to stay there for a while. As if you got a big, it'll stay there till the next one, I guess, because I don't really know how to work it, and I don't feel like screwing around with it. So it's almost like, like Dingus was. So we called David Gingras, who's Laura Owens' attorney. We called him lots of things. We called him Douchecanoe Esquire. We call him Dingus. We call him Gingy. He has a lot of nicknames. He is the originator, by the way, of Snake Chorus. Snake Chorus, by the way, that was the musical I wrote for the Laura Owens story. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Laura Owens and what happened with her, let's try a short TLDR, which means too long didn't read. Yeah, tramp stamp lawyer. I forgot that, Rogue Mama. Tramp stamp lawyer also is something that we called him because Tug one night said he is the human equivalent of a tramp stamp, and it just kind of stuck.
I like that he acknowledged that. That was the funniest thing. I think, you know, it wasn't that he wrote a blog where he brought that up. Why would you ever?
Yeah, and also Tug promised to get a tramp stamp if and he said he would trade sides if David Gingras would get a tramp stamp of that umbrella guy on his lower back.
He should have used it, man. You know what? He really used that help.
He could have used the help for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, how would you succinctly describe the Laura Owens tale in a very short? Can you do it?
Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. There's so much to it. Fake pregnancy, fake protective orders, stalking, life ruination, and more. But where are we now? We are at indictment level. Oh wait, I forgot. Going after a judge. I forgot that wonderful little dilly too. Losing in court, appealing and losing, getting indicted, and now we're at the new part of the chapter. You know, where oh my God, the excuse. Did she just blame autism, by the way?
Oh, yeah, she tried that once. Yes.
No, I mean, like in her new excuse, is she blaming autism for? Oh my God.
Well, and she's complaining that the prosecutor didn't give her proper accommodations. I don't know what kind of accommodations she expected
what would they have
to
done?
have. I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I have no clue what she would be taught, what kind of accommodations. There are no accommodations in a criminal case when you're talking about you've done something wrong and they're investigating you. There's no accommodations for that. Are there? I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm looking up like how they're supposed to accommodate that. I mean, again,
Well,
you
like,
know,
before the police raid your house, are they supposed to sit you down with a counselor? I mean, what actually can be done?
well, I mean, okay, just like a just like an employer, you know, if we looked at it that way, what are they going to give you? Assistive technology? Okay, well, what assistive technology do you need there? Accessible workplace? Well, you know, we're not really going to have that flow in. So, work environment changes. They're going to take away the flashing lights when they arrest you. What's going on? Reduce glare? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I did find, actually, instead of us trying to tell you guys a short TLDR, Bianca Bono, who was one of the local reporters who in Arizona, who actually jumped onto this case at the end, but did a good job at summarizing it. She put out a 5-minute video like almost a year ago summarizing this. So why don't we play a little bit of that so you guys can get caught up? But I promise those of you here for What the Hales, we're definitely going to be talking about the similarities between the lawyer who jumped onto this case and the lawyer on What the Hales. And by the end of it, we're going to have a vote to see which lawyer is the worst lawyer. What do you think?
It's so rough to pick one.
I know it's going to be very difficult when you hear the things that have happened and when you see the blog posts. So here we go.
Mostly known to the world as The Bachelor, has been fighting a paternity suit here in the Valley. Last May, a woman accused Clayton Echard of getting her pregnant and then filed a suit and shared her story publicly.
Well, this month, a judge ruled in Echard's favor, and in an unprecedented ruling, she's also asked the county attorney's office to investigate the woman for possible criminal charges.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono sat down with Echard, and Bianca, you learned this is not the first time that this woman has made similar accusations.
Yeah, Mark Rebe, that's right. We've obtained court records, not only from Echard's case, but from another case out of Maricopa County. Echard was the star of season 26 of The Bachelor. He said these allegations had a tremendous impact on him, both personally and professionally. And finally, he feels a sense of relief.
Oh my gosh, okay. Yes, I love it.
It's been 2 years since Clayton Echard starred as The Bachelor. Following a breakup after the show ended, the Missouri native moved to the Valley.
It's a very active community, a melting pot of people from all over the country. I just love the entire atmosphere.
But life over the past year for this former TV star has felt more like a movie.
And in case YouTube wants to copyright me, I am playing this to comment on it and for educational purposes. And so we will have to stop it once in a while in order for the copyright not to kick in. But I would like to say that Bianca Bono finally, like a local reporter getting into this, was very, very effective.
For what medium period. And I'm not talking about her, just to make sure. Media period, though. They led to this problem. They went out, they pushed and promoted Owens. And then when you had all this evidence out there that she not only lying, but that she had done this to other people, they continually promoted her still. And then they went silent. They would not do anything. After the win for Clayton Echard, there was a little bit of blip. You know, they barely said anything. So most people, they'd have no idea that Clayton Echard had actually won in a courtroom. They would think the scandal had still gone on. Her words were still out there and still remaining. Finally, though, when there's an indictment, when it's safe, when people like Dave Neal have actually, I mean, Dave Neal, he put a lot on the line covering this case. And the media should have been covering it. He shouldn't have been hanging out there alone. He wrote, he asked for help on it. All these cowards, like I said, they didn't just ignore the case. They promoted Laura Owens' angle on it. So
they sure did. And they repeated her smears, not Bianca Bono. She didn't.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about
the local news is usually much better than the national news.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Jenkins, he did good reporting, and he's an AZ Central reporter. He did very good investigative work. He read everything and he reported things correctly. So local news is usually better, but these national outlets, it was the U.S. Sun who reported so many inaccuracies, lies straight out of Laura's mouth that they never checked. And Clayton was telling them all of this is untrue. None of it is true, but they repeated it anyway. I wish he had a war chest to go after them.
Yep.
God, that would make me so happy. We got a couple more super tips here that are probably hilarious. We might as well play a couple of them so we don't get backed up here.
I never lie, grift, or swear. God is my witness, and I stand in the truth. Is it time to pull out my can of whoop ass on all y'all for saying otherwise?
That was from Linda Early. Linda, thank you so much. That was a total scream. God, I love it. And by the way, again, these are not real voices. This is not meant to impersonate anyone. These are AI computer voices. These are chats that people are writing for satire and parody. No one believes that these are real voices, just to be completely clear. And L Flocking Lou, thanks for the 5.
Would love to hear Depp's voice added to this. Love this.
Ooh, Johnny Depp, that's a good one. I have to keep a running list of the voices people want to have. I actually did say the other day Johnny Depp would be a great one to have, so I will work on that. I do have a few more voices in the works right now. Mary Lankins is one of them. You guys are going to be so excited. Mary Lankins is going to join the Super Tips.
Mary Lankins. Oh no, that'll be hilarious.
Yes, it will.
And thank you for coming to the Laura Owens Sperm Bank, where it's all lip smacking good.
Gross.
Just ask Laura.
Just because Super Tips is new.
Oh, who was that from? Shoot, it disappeared off my screen. Those two were from Rosilla's Realm. Thank you for that. And Linda Early. Thank you for that as well. Lori Netzel, thanks for the 20.
I hope this works.
It did. It worked. And Brenda Lanning Vaughn, thanks for the 5.
I think that I am about ready to take the bar exam after listening to this case for over S year.
And Fluky, thanks for the 5.
John, hire Gingras as Bubbles makes my anxiety go over the roof. I need Gingras.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine if
she
they
could bring in
hired
oh my God, the dream team.
Gingras and Manskin together?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Oh, good God. So good. All
The
right, there's one.
blogs we'd get. The blogs.
It's so good. Here's another one from Rhea Norman.
Who's going to make me the new Pope? Ha ha ha.
I am so entertained by these super tips. It is ridiculous. You're right. I should get Starcasm's voice. That would be hilarious. And I am working on Jeff's voice, by the way. Connor gave me permission. Jeff's voice will be added. The company is in Vegas for a conference right now, or some kind of boxing thing. I don't know. So they're out for the week. By next week, I should have a couple more voices, including Jeff's and Douchecanoe Esquire. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And yes, we do need a Tug voice. You're right. Tug, can we put your voice in here?
I don't care.
Well, I have to have you. Well, we want your permission, just in case. But anyway, here is let's go back to the video, because this is good stuff. This is a good recap for those of you who don't know this case backwards and forwards like some of us do.
Either I'm dealing with one of the most craziest individuals that I've ever met, or I'm dealing with someone who's telling the truth.
By the way, that I could hear Jeremy Hales saying the same thing, almost like either this is the craziest person I've ever met that I'm dealing with, or somehow I'm totally wrong. Like, it's funny. These cases are very similar as far as meeting the craziest person you've ever heard of or ever come across in your whole life. And then they hire the craziest lawyer you've ever heard of in your whole life. It's unreal.
In May of last year, shortly after Eckert obtained his real estate license, he received a message on LinkedIn from a prospective client, Laura Owens. Their conversations turned flirtatious, and she ended up coming over to his house.
Some things happened, but there was no sexual intercourse. The next day when I told her that was a mistake, and this can't be anything more than what that was, she began to cry, and I realized at that point something felt off.
11 days later, Owens told Eckert she was pregnant.
I couldn't believe it, just because, again, what occurred that night, I said, there's no way that this actually happened.
Eckert wanted to see an ultrasound, and if pregnancy was confirmed, he wanted a paternity test.
She drafted up an actual dating contract that she typed up that basically said, date me for a week, and if you do and it doesn't work out, then I'll have an abortion. But if you don't date me, I'm having this child.
Owens would ultimately tell Eckert she was actually pregnant with twins, sending him this email. Here is my 100 million% real ultrasound video.
100
million
Legal team
percent.
would later
100 million%. Because you know, when you're telling the truth, you always use numbers like that. All the best. If you guys are ever wondering where my all the best comes from, Laura Owens signed every single email, all the best.
All the best.
And it became a song.
All the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best, Megan Fox.
And that was one of the ways that she got caught, by the way, because she fabricated something. I think it was a medical letter from a doctor, and she signed it all the best.
What a weirdo, man.
Remember that?
Like, is that what she means by the autism? I don't think that's autism, by the way, just to know.
No, that's just sloppiness. That's just being sloppy. Oh, God.
Learned the ultrasound stemmed from a years-old YouTube video.
She was doing whatever she could to get me to come back and believe her.
But Eckerd didn't. So in August, Owens filed a paternity suit and went public with her accusations.
It was guilty till proven innocent. Everyone online was saying, yep, this is the guy that we saw on The Bachelor. Terrible person. You know, makes sense.
Poor
His tracks.
Clayton.
And then professionally, I lost a lot of speaking engagements.
But it was shortly after Owens went public that Eckerd came to know he wasn't alone, learning of other men who also received paternity claims from Owens.
I realized that I'm not fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for these previous men.
Eckerd eventually got a
Yeah, so here's the part in the story where it's almost like in the What the Hales thing, where we discover all the Northport stories and the story of Ashley, the stepchild, right? Where all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, there's she's doing this to other people in other neighborhoods and other years ago, right? It's the same kind of thing, right, Tug? Where the story unfolded to be this wild and crazy, oh my God, this has been going on for years.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like the revelations
stories
in
are a
that
lot alike.
case. Well, the revelations in the Eckerd case were just insane. You know, again, Fiverr. Come on, man. That was one of the wildest things I've seen.
Oh yeah, the Fiverr look. I actually have that, by the way. I actually have the moment Dave and I found the Fiverr logo with the help of the chat, by the way. The chat actually figured it out. I was reading the chat, which is how I came up with why I said, hey, it's Fiverr. It says Fiverr. Because I looked at the chat. The chat said it says Fiverr. And then I looked at the picture again. I'm like, sure as shit, it does. It's a picture of an ultrasound. It literally has a Fiverr watermark on it. But it was so well hidden that we never saw it after looking at it for months and months. I mean, months and months, you guys. We saw this. We saw it every day for months and never saw the Fiverr logo. But in fact, let's see. I think this, I don't know how many minutes this is. Let me see. It is.
Yes. So
yeah.
I never saw this. What are we seeing here? What's this? HEVN? Is this are you seeing this? I'm literally.
Yeah, that looks like a watermark.
What the hell's going on here?
What is that? Wait
you know
a minute,
what?
Go back
I never noticed it, and now I can't see it. I can't unsee it. What the hell is that? VEN NVEN
watermark.
What weird.
That's
Did she possibly alter this?
It's almost like we're looking at images of Mars, you know, like, oh my God, it's alien life. But I mean, look at it. We were all screaming at the screen that day, Moshi. It was an incredible day when this was discovered live on a live stream.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't know, but could she have possibly altered this in one of those apps that she was using the free version of the?
Either that, or one of the fetuses was writing with the finger in the.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
possible that she had a genius fetus that was just in there, like you do on a window, you know?
Yeah, he had.
And then later on, Dave, so the chat says Fiverr. Dave goes and gets the logo. Period. Right there where the dot is.
Fiverr.
And he puts it over it, and it fits perfectly.
Transparent. So what we need is the transparent PMG.
Well, wait till you see this.
Right here. So let's just zoom in on Jane's image. And Oh my gosh, it's so apparent to see.
It is it.
How
That's
the
exactly
hell
what it is.
Oh my God.
are we? I
Oh
am
my God.
losing it. Now, hold on a second. Does the original have this?
I am
Because
losing
no,
it.
the original doesn't have it.
No.
The original doesn't have this. So this
She
right here,
paid
Isn't that
someone-
crazy? So this we discovered on a live stream. It was epic. Epic. So believe me, this goes back years. And by the way, the way I got involved in this is because one of my listeners told me to go watch Dave Neal because he's on a case that you just won't even believe. And when I did, I couldn't go back. I was sucked in forever. I was just sucked in forever. There was no going back. So yeah, that's how we discovered that Fiverr thing. Crazy.
Paternity test and court records show the results showed little to no fetal DNA. During a November hearing, Owens testified she had just recently seen her doctor and confirmed she was 100% pregnant and 24 weeks along. But a second paternity test weeks later again showed little to no fetal DNA. Owens then claimed she miscarried, filing a motion to dismiss her suit. But Eckert's legal team wanted to continue.
Her story is just made up at this point. It's just a lie after lie after lie.
Just last week, Judge Julie Mata issuing a stunning 19-page ruling, finding Owens knowingly presented a false claim, ordering she pay Eckert's legal fees. Mata went on to say Owens has a pattern of similar, if not identical, behavior and is referring her actions to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for review.
Okay, that was something like the Hales case I've never seen before in any case that I've ever followed. I have never seen a judge refer someone, a litigant, for criminal prosecution.
Maybe they shouldn't have targeted the judge. That's just that's another thing that I think we kind of left out in the.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of don't target not just the judge, I guess, but her father. You don't go after a judge and their family. That's probably a big no-no. Everything they could do to motivate this to become, well, one of the few we've ever seen something where, somebody actually faces some consequence. Yeah, they did everything they could. And again, that goes to Gingy. Yeah.
I would like to point out, though, that Laura Owens, who is now facing seven felony charges, she was the last person to threaten to sue me. And this is what has happened to her. Let it be a warning to anyone else threatening to sue me. It doesn't go well. And I told Laura from the beginning, don't mess with me. Don't do it. Don't do it, Laura. You will regret it. And now she's facing 7 felony charges. I'm not taking full credit for it, but I will certainly take some of it because you threatened me, and I will do everything in my power, spend all of my time exposing you for the fraud that you are. And that is what was done. And that is what will be done in this case, too, because these idiot morons have threatened to sue me. So now I'm invested. Now I must continue. If they wanted me to stop my coverage, they should have just let me get bored on my own, which I probably would have done months ago. Really, I think I would have. Without the constant threats of lawsuit, there would have been no reason for me to stay on this case as heavily as I've been on it. But you threatened to sue me, and I will now dedicate every minute of my existence to making sure that that can never happen. And now Laura Owens, all of her threats of lawsuits, well,
this will get awkward.
She's never going to be able to sue anybody now because she has now been indicted for lying.
She lied,
which is what she said she was going to sue us for. Remember that? Remember that, Tug? Remember all the...
I just noticed. I'm looking at the releases and everything. We were talking about the motivation. Well, Gingy and crew, I didn't realize that they'd started going after Rachel Mitchell too.
Oh, we're going to get to that. So David Gingras, when we talk about this lawyer in the Owens case, he has an unhinged blog. He has written tens of thousands of words about this case, which is not advisable for any lawyer. He is just as bad as BBB, except BBB goes on live streams and sits there for 5 hours, while Gingras blogs and puts these things in writing. So actually, that's probably worse than going on live streams, because it's not written down. You write it down, you're really locked in. Not that BBB's words are not locking him in, but
yeah, they're still locked in. But it's another level, because some of the stuff that he's unintentionally admitted to, I guess, is the best way to go with it.
oh yeah, this blog is a real scream. Wait till we get to it. It is insane. But I still can't. I can't decide which lawyer is worse. And while we're watching the rest of this, Tug, make yourself a mental list of all the worst things you think BBB has done to harm Lynette and John. Think to yourself, what are some of the worst things you can think of? Because we're going to compare the things that Gingy has done versus what BBB has done.
We are actually at a place now where she may face criminal prosecution, which she should, because she's been doing this for almost 10 years.
This week, Owens published a blog post in response to the ruling, saying the evidence she presented was deemed meaningless by the judge. And the only reason the judge allowed the case to continue after she was no longer pregnant was because of Eckerd's high-profile status.
If I could press a button and go back and erase all this, would I? And the answer is no. Because what I've learned through this entire process made me a person that I'm so extremely proud of.
As for Eckerd, he's moving forward with his career in real estate and plans to launch a men's mental health podcast. But although this legal battle is now in his rearview mirror, it's not completely out of sight. Owens' attorney says they're pursuing an appeal.
If someone is not going to back down, then I'm not going to back down either until justice is served, until this individual stops.
Wow, the story is incredible, Bianca. Unbelievable. Now that possible criminal charges are on the table, what is the Maricopa County attorney?
Okay, so the criminal charges have come down. This was a year ago, this video, a year ago. And now the criminal charges are here. We went over that indictment yesterday on the show. Last night, we went over it. And I just want to tell all of you here who are here for What the Hales, I hope I can keep you and get you interested in this story, because let me tell you something. There's going to be a trial, and I'm going to be there. I will be in the courtroom in Maricopa County because I go stay with my parents and I get a nice family visit, and I hang out with Dave Neal and Bruce the Moose and Lauren Knighty. We're all going to be there. Reality Steve. We're all going to be there, and it's going to be epic. Maybe Tug will go this time. Tug, you going to go to the trial this time?
It really depends. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no.
Well, they've set the trial date for October, but there's no way that that's going to happen. Once a lawyer gets involved, they're going to kick the can. It'll be next year, probably around the same time as the last one. Bikini hot tub party with Megan. Well, we'll definitely have another pool party at my parents' house. They don't have a hot tub, unfortunately, because it's Arizona. Every pool is a hot tub there because it's the valley and it's 125 degrees in the shade. Nobody needs a hot tub. But yeah, we are going to be there. That trial is going to be covered, every second of it, on my channel. Every second of everything that goes on with this criminal prosecution, I am absolutely going to be covering. And those of you who came onto this channel because of Jeremy Hales, I love you, I appreciate you, and I want to bring you with me on this journey. You need to come with us on this one. You need to get into the lore, the deep lore, the Laura Owens lore. Rosalind Duke says, "Oh, I'm gonna come." Phrasing.
Yeah, phrasing. But the arraignment is scheduled for the end of this month, so that should be
the 29th. That's right. The 29th will be a very interesting day. It's one day before I leave for Las Vegas. I will be going to Reality Steve's birthday party in Las Vegas. I'll be hanging out with Dave Neal, Reality Steve. We're going to have a really huge party. I mean, it was going to be a party anyway, but now with this indictment. So the day before I go to Vegas is going to be her arraignment. It will be live on Maricopa County TV. They have a live arraignment camera that goes 24 hours. And it is going to be epic. So I need you guys in the What the Hales audience, because you are so awesome and you've been so good to the channel. I know you're going to love this story. You're going to love it because this is another lawyer you cannot believe, and more injustice than you've seen. Well, you've seen it in the What the Hales case, so you'll believe it. But you've got to get caught up on the Laura Owens lore.
this is angled. I mean, we were talking about life destruction and I mean, this woman, she didn't do it to one guy. She did it to multiple people too. And it's amazing when you look at all the evidence, and not just that, the ineptitude of law enforcement. One of the guys, it's stuck with me. One of the things that really made me just angry was reading back, talking about the other people this happened to. You know, one of these guys broke up with her. She decided to stalk them. You know, his sister still lived in the area. She saw that he was with another person. She decided to stalk that person onto their social media, make claims about him, kept stalking him. So he calls the police for help. The police go to her. She makes claims about him where he's asking for help. What do? They tell her to get a protective order.
They take her
and
side.
And it ruins his life.
Yep.
And she's done that. And that has been her MO, like over and over and over again. And finally, you have something where those people, with her facing justice, they may actually be able to get that overturned finally. You know, finally, they might be able to get something done.
Yep.
But,
and by the way, if you want to get caught up on this case, I have written about it extensively at pjmedia.com. You can go to my my page over there. I have written a new article on it today that posted this morning. Check this out. This is my page over on pjmedia.com. And right now, my article is not trending #1, and it really should be. I need you to go clickety-click on this article right here. I'm going to copy the link and drop it in the chat. And I want you to save it and bookmark it for later. And I want you to share it on all of your on your social medias to get this trending, because this is one of those cases that needs to be national news. And it's starting to go worldwide. It's going to be amazing. But we've been in this at PJ Media. I've been covering this for over a year. If you scroll down, look at all these. We've got an interview with the second victim. Eckerd's false accuser referred for criminal prosecution. Bachelor on trial, shocking testimony. Bachelor order of protection hearing reveals bombshell. And this was all happening at the same time as Jeremy Hales. You remember we had the pervert lawyer in the tanning salon there. We had shocking deception revealed in the paternity nightmare. New evidence as former bachelor's accuser has no pregnancy records, and Clayton wins big. Here's the first article I wrote. Bachelor paternity scandal reveals shocking tale of serial harasser and complicit media. You can get all caught up on this case if you don't want to watch, 1,000 hours of videos, by just reading these 5 or 6 articles, which will not take you very long at all. And they will give you the best overview of what all happened, the craziness that ensued. And I would really appreciate the support. So if you would go over there and click on that, I would love to see it up here trending, right up here. See, we can do it. If enough of you click on it and share it, it'll be up there in no time. I bet we can do that before the end of this stream. So everybody clickety-click, mofos. Definitely clickety click. We've got a few more super tips that came in. I want to play for you. Angel Parent Perez sent $5. Says my anxiety is over the roof. You need a button. Where's my button? There
I have anxiety over the roof.
And Carol Welsh says I'm tired of babysitting BBB every 15 minutes. I'm flucked up. That's funny. And then Rickle64, thanks for the 5.
Anyone know where to get tickets to the Circus Polymopicus? I hear it's in town.
Oh, that was a good one. And thank you, M169, for the 5.
I'm not autistic. I'm just a liar and a bitch.
And again, these are AI voices. These are not real voices. I do not have real people chained up in the basement or anything reading super chats. It's just your words set to AI for satire and parody purposes only. I also do think that Laura Owens is not autistic. She's just an asshole. And maybe she's autistic. I don't know. But if she doesn't have a diagnosis, she's going to have a real problem trying to prove that in court.
what does it matter? I don't remember anyone.
It doesn't matter.
I worked with clients a long time, many of them autistic. I don't remember one of them being like, man, my autism made me fake pregnancy.
Yeah. I fake pregnancy because of autism. Yeah, it's not a thing. That is not.
Symptoms
not
may include. You're like, no, I don't remember that one.
It's like those chips. Remember those Olestra chips?
Oh, yeah.
Symptoms may include runny stool. Like
Yeah.
symptoms may include faking a pregnancy. Oh, it sounds like something Big Pharma would come up with.
Oh, it's so bizarre, though. I don't know, but like of anything that she tried to pull off, though, why would she think autism would get her out of that? I mean, you know,
I don't
sorry I did
know.
all this and ruined these men's lives, but actually, she didn't do that either. You know, she's actually, for some reason, I don't even understand how the autism thing works into this. She's just all of a sudden was like, by the way, I have autism, you know, but I don't admit to doing anything wrong. Like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Exactly. I made the news, by the way, in the Laura Owens case. Check this out. The Mercury News mentioned my channel without giving me any credit. Boy, I really hate it when they do that. Don't you hate it when they do that? Look at this. By that time, the case had become an internet cause celeb dubbed fetal attraction by one YouTuber. I'm sorry, Mercury News, but was it too much for you to write my name in there? Was it too much for you to write by Megan Fox Investigates? Hello. And you know what else I don't like? You know what else I don't like about this? It says dubbed fetal attraction by one YouTuber. I'm just one YouTuber, just like Dave is some podcaster. Now I'm one YouTuber.
That's what they do, though. See, that's what they've started doing, because they don't want to admit that people covered this while they sat on their hands and did nothing.
Right. They don't want to admit that we were out here doing the real work while they were just believing the accuser. And by the way, look at how they lumped me in here with Eckerd's Bachelor Nation fans rallied to his defense against a woman they believe was a pregnancy hoaxer. I wasn't an Eckerd Bachelor fan. I'm an investigative journalist. I write for PJ Media. Fuck you. Whatever.
Actually,
that Mercury News.
What got me interested in this wasn't even Eckerd. If I'm being really honest, it was what Dave Neal was facing. Dave Neal got me involved, you know? And
me too.
Yeah, because I mean, he was out there on his own and he had a very compelling story.
He sure did.
You know, and he had these people wanting to silence, to ruin him.
He sure did. And when I first started this case, if you go back to the very beginning of my playlist, the fetal attraction playlist, you will see that I started out saying, I don't really care about Clayton Eckerd. I think he's kind of a dumbass. Like, I think he's kind of a dumb guy. Now, since then, I've met the man. I've spoken to him, and I don't have that opinion anymore.
Yeah,
but
that's another thing you can thank the media for, the way that they've portrayed him over time. You're just like any of the Bachelor people, you know, it's just like, they made him look so bad anyway. He was to the point when you looked at this, the way the media had portrayed him, you could believe this about it. They had damaged his character. So, you know, I mean, you were like,
they did. I think that my negative opinion of him, though, was not based on the media lies, because I don't ever believe the media. My negative opinion of him was, how could you be so dumb to go home with a girl, the first night you meet her and get into any kind of relations with her? This is a dumb thing to do. But that was me being judgy, right? Because it didn't just happen to him. It happened to many men that she was involved with, and she was very wily about it. She knew what she was doing. And I've since quit doing that. I've since quit judging him for that, because anybody, and that was one of the things that I think hurt his story almost, was that a lot of people are like, well, you got what you deserved, you know? And I don't believe that. Nobody deserves this. Nobody. I mean, 2 consenting adults went to go have some fun, and you shouldn't have to pay for that for the rest of your life with false accusations. Should you actually knock someone up? Yeah, that's the consequence of doing something stupid like that. The consequence, though, of doing something stupid like that is not false allegations for several years and having your name smeared through the media. So I was wrong, in judging him on that one. And I came to that conclusion of why, but he's not what brought me into the case. It was definitely Dave, and how Bachelor Media, Bachelor Nation, was refusing to report this case, even though it was totally a Bachelor story, right? They were refusing to give him the benefit of the doubt. They were refusing to listen to Dave, who is part of Bachelor Nation. They were refusing to listen to Dave Neal, and he had the goods. He had the evidence. And Reality Steve, too. They were the only two people in Bachelor Nation who were saying, no, this story is wrong. There's something wrong with it. And I saw Dave being threatened by this terrible lawyer and by this woman, being threatened with $1 million lawsuits. Gingy said he was going to put Laura's horses on Dave's family lawn, that he was going to take their house. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember it very well. He made all these threats. And, you know, this is right after Dave Neal, you know, his family, they just had a child. So, I mean, they were threatening to ruin his life. I mean, that can be scary business. He handled it very well. You know, he in fact, he did everything to make sure that she was given every benefit of the doubt. You know, he tried, but
yeah, he sure did. He sure
he's a
did.
lot nicer he's a lot nicer than I am.
Yeah, he didn't even use her name. He didn't even use her name for a really long time. M169 says, I just realized we've got LO versus LP. You're right. Or LMO versus LMNOP.
Man, battle of the alphabet.
LMO versus LMNOP. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, before we get to the Lawyers blog, and believe me, folks, it's going to be so worth it when we read to you how crazy this reads, crazier than one of BBB's motions. I shit you not. It is so batshit. You're going to love it. But before we get there, I have some super chats to get to because we're still doing regular super chats here too. Not just super tips, but super tips are great. Supertip.gg/Megan Fox. You can send me a regular super chat there or one with an AI voice. It's a lot of fun and they only take 10%. I love that. Melissa Lilligard, thanks for being a member for 1 month. Hey, Megan, I've been watching you since before you started covering. You're so thorough with your research and songs. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that you've been here that long. I really do. Wanda Perez, thanks for the 2. Hey, Megan and Tug. Hey, Wanda. Good to see you. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Hey, Megan and Tug. Max Lab, you're not going to believe this case. And when we get, you are the equivalent, by the way, of an entire Reddit army in the Laura Owens case. Think about that. Like, here we have like Max Lab as part of this, like, he doesn't have like an army with him like we had in the Laura Owens case, but he's monitoring the docket, you know, throwing out documents as soon as he gets them. In Maricopa County, they're not electronic records. We had to have actual runners in Maricopa County run to the courthouse and get paper documents, scan them, and upload them to the internet. And believe me, they did it. They were taking turns. They were doing carpools. It was insane. The amount of community support that the Laura Owens case had with people on the ground, people on Reddit, on investigators, it was intense. Max Lab, you're like a one-man army, man.
That thing should have been 100 times bigger, you know, as far as if the media would have actually got off their ass and did it too. They should have.
Oh yeah, they should have been camped out on the steps of the courthouse. Green Veggie Beast, thanks for the 5. Anybody else want to go on a fox hunt? Susan Way, thanks to the $4.99 30-day break and is busier than ever. I know, isn't that nuts? We have a 30-day stay in the case, but we have no shortage of things to talk about. Lady K, Texas, thanks for the 5. I'm calling, begging for the fake Laura Owens to send you a super chat with the real LO voice. Fake Laura Owens, are you out there? You know, there are a lot of streams tonight about Laura Owens. I have a feeling that fake Laura Owens might be on one of those other streams because there are some big ones tonight. And I'm going to have to do my replay catch up on some of those. So that could be where she is. But I encourage anybody who knows fake Laura Owens to please tell her about Super Tip. Please tell her about Super Tips because she will enjoy. He, I don't know who it is. I wish I did because they're one of the funniest chatters I've ever seen. Navy Vet for the Broken, thanks for the 20. Too old to figure out the voice chat thing and get it to check out. I figure this might make up for it a little, like the voices though. Hey, you know what? If you're more comfortable sending super chats, I love super chats. I will never not love super chats. And it's good to support YouTube because YouTube offers us this great platform. And So we definitely want to keep supporting YouTube and keep using the super chat system that we are very grateful for. And I'm grateful for all of you. Even if you're too old to figure out something new, you figured out something that works for you. And that is cool with us. Mike Morgan, thanks for the 5. How many times will Laura get pregnant if she goes to jail? Yeah, you never can tell.
Oh, no.
You never can tell. Sean Poe, thanks for the 5. Nothing will ever beat the Fiverr discovery. Yeah, to Clayton and the guys. Yeah, the Fiverr discovery was a moment on the show. It was a
That was
huge moment.
insane to see.
We were all, I mean, people remember it to this day, like where they were and what they were doing when Dave and I found that, and everyone was just screaming, "Oh my God, we've been looking at this thing for months and never saw it." But that day, Dave, he saw it, and that was it. That was the end of it. Aaron Patterson, thanks for the 5. Godmother Fox, here's my protection. I mean, my breadstick money. That's correct. Welcome to the Fox gang. We are a cartel. We're a mafia here. Once you get in, you cannot get out. Kristen H. became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den, Kristen. It is so good to have you here. It's weird, but you'll get used to it. And if you don't, well, you're stuck. Yes, Hangry, why are you standing there making faces? What can I do for you? You going to bed?
Yes.
All right, well, move it along, son. What's your question? What depends. What are you going to say?
I was going to say everybody have a great evening.
That was a good on mic voice.
And good night, by the way, because I'm going to be gone. So, hi and bye.
All right, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth really good. And by the way, in the morning, you have an orthodontist appointment, so you're not going to school until after that. Well, don't cheer too much. They're probably going to tighten those suckers. All right, Terry D, remember for 4 months. So now you can play Pond Scum Posse. I may have found you from What the Hales, but I have stayed with you because of you. I love you and Tug like my own kids. That's right. Pond Scum Posse is one of the greatest songs ever written on this channel. Pond Scum Posse is that their lawyer, Gingy, called us Pond Scum. And so we did what we always do, and we leaned in. We leaned in and we made a song, and it is really good. Maybe I'll play it to end the show tonight. That would be a good one, because by then you'll understand this case.
What did he expect? Oh no, he called me Pond Scum.
He thought he was getting a real win there. It was like, yeah, I called them Pond Scum. That was the most fun I've ever had, making those little Pond Scum characters.
Oh my God! So check this out, by the way, just to note. So he's on Twitter, of course, like popping off about all of this stuff. He's telling us, oh, yeah. So check this out. So here's a little thread. I'm going to ask him about this. I want to hear his explanation. So he posted, about all of that. And people are asking about stuff. I'm still curious about what happened after she miscarried after being along that far. And he's like, that's the whole thing. She wasn't that far along. Okay, so he says, that's the miscarriage was probably a little over 10 weeks. So somebody else asks, well, then there's no explanation for her 24-week quote unquote belly in late October, early November 2023. And he's like, well, there certainly is, but non-cult members aren't willing to hear that. Huh, well, let me see. All right, David.
Yeah, look at Mia says it. What is it? This should be good.
Yeah, let's see. All right, David. We're all ears.
I know what he's going to say. He's going to say she was retaining water. She has PCOS. She, she had the pregnancy hormones that didn't resolve. And so they made her look pregnant and feel pregnant. He's made these arguments a bazillion times. None of them make any flippin' sense.
In a way that doesn't get someone put in jail for the stupid. Okay.
He won't answer.
Oh well, we'll see. But bam. All right. There. I'm gonna until he blocks me. I'm gonna keep doing it.
He blocked me the very first time I replied to a question of his, which I replied very nicely. I was very nice about it, and he blocked me immediately, which I find really shitty. Like, why would you ask a question? I answered it. I wasn't even being snarky. I was just answering a question. He's blocked me from day one, and he hasn't blocked a bunch of other people. So he just really hates me for some reason. Did you brush your teeth, young man? Did you brush? Let me see your teeth. I'm sorry. I have to do a teeth check because we're going to the ortho tomorrow. No, let me see. Open your mouth. I don't like the way the top looks. Spend some more time. More time. More time. You need more time. Don't give me that and close the door, please. Sorry, folks. All right. We have, braces are difficult to keep clean.
Yeah, I hate them.
All right. Go and clean them. Thank you. Let's see. We have, all right, we're going to get to Gingy's blog now. Now, this is, imagine BBB with a blog, if you will. Imagine what it would be like if he had a blog. Now, look to the right here. I want you to look to the right. Look at his recent posts. Oops, I'm blogging again. I'm not a blog. Not yet a blogger. Wait, I am a blog. My blog fell down. My blog didn't fall down. My blog died. My blog didn't. I mean, can you imagine? Public warning. Judge Julie Mata. Owens v. Eckerd, fourth quarter. Here we come. American Injustice. That's the most recent one. But look at all these archives. And he started blogging about this a year ago. So it's screed after screed after screed. We are going to have to take turns reading because this is too long. So I'm going to read a couple paragraphs and then I'll give you a couple paragraphs. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. I will start. American Injustice 2025 style. Now, guys, I warn you, there's going to be some political talking here because Gingras cannot help himself. I just want all of you to know that neither Tug nor I care who you vote for, what party you're on. We don't think any of that is important. We have our own opinions. You can have yours and we can all be friends. My motto here is let's make Americans friends again. Everybody knows I like Trump. Some people don't, and that's okay. Now, but David Gingras, he has Trump derangement syndrome, which is not the same thing as just not liking a guy. It's just not the same. He lives in abject fear and loathing of Donald Trump every single day. And he has to write about it in every single blog. Here we go. American Injustice. Wow. This is a strange time in American legal history. We have a convicted felon in the White House, a man who a jury also found liable for assault and lying about it. We have a justice on the U.S. Supreme Court who was accused of SA and lying about it. Oh, by the way, he was not found guilty of any of that, and his accuser was a liar.
It's just so weird. It doesn't have anything to do with Laura Owens.
I know. Well, wait. No, wait. It does. He is going to compare Laura Owens to these two people he says are liars. He's going to put her in the same category. You're not going to believe this. We have people being kidnapped off the street by the U.S. government and sent to foreign prisons without any due process. We have millions of people saying that's perfectly okay. And on May 1st, Laura Owens was indicted for things.
What?
I guess she's now eligible for public service. And he has put her picture with these two people he calls criminals that he hates and says are liars.
This is beautiful.
Pick your crime, choose your criminal. He's calling his client a criminal.
Good job there. I mean, really good. So you admit that she did this. That's awesome.
It's insane. And this is always his tack with her is, well, so what if she did it? Who cares if she lied? Women lie. Women lie all the time. By the way, in my book, Believe Evidence, I actually wrote that book because of what happened to Justice Kavanaugh. So if you want to know more about that and the details of how his accusers lied, buy my book, Believe Evidence, The Death of Due Process, from Salameda #MeToo. They tried to railroad a good man. In light of yesterday's news, lots of folks have reached out asking for comment. So here you go. First, as I've said all along, I am not a criminal defense lawyer. Wow, he should have ended this blog right here. This is where he should have stopped talking.
Well, yeah, because a criminal defense lawyer would be like, but you're one of her lawyers, and you're talking about her being guilty, you moron.
Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad. He is so bad at this. I am not qualified to represent Laura in the criminal case.
This will get awkward.
This is one of those but statements, but I will not stop talking.
So I won't be handling her defense. That job will be left to the best criminal defense lawyer we can find. Oh, boy. You know what's coming? Guess, wait for it. We can find? Oh, he's staying on the team. He's on the legal team. He's the PR guy. He's
Does
Bruce
he have a
behind the
relation with her?
scenes.
Do you have a relation with her, sir? I would really like to know about that because, your connection to this goes well beyond. Usually when people have gotten to the point where they're indicted, this is the same guy that told us he would drop off if there was ever any proof that she lied. Okay, well, how about an indictment, sir? I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. And he keeps saying, well, that was before my time. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. It was before my time. Whenever you give him any evidence, it's, well, that was before my time.
Well,
Dude.
the indictment happened on your time, so.
Dude. I forgot Rumble, by the way. Welcome, Rumble Ghetto. I forgot to drop the super tip, whatchamacallit, URL. So here you go. I'm putting it in the Rumble chat now in case you guys want to take part in that as well. And welcome, Rumblers. I'm so glad that you're here. It's great to see you, and I'm sorry that I ignore you because I don't have all the screens open. I need like six monitors. That would really solve my problem. But Flux here points out, and by the way, congratulations to Flux. She went past 3,000 subscribers today. She had a hilarious rant stream about this case. If you guys have not subscribed to House of Flux with 2 X's, get over there and watch her rant stream today about this case. It was funny. The only thing I have to tell you, Flux, is you have got to fix that microphone because every time you were screaming something hilarious, it would cut out. It was driving me crazy. But it was good enough. I could hear you well enough that I was rolling around laughing at your reaction to this. It's so good. You guys have to go watch it because it's
Get
funny.
you one of those blue Yetis. They're about $100.
I think the cat chewed through the cord of her. She was saying the cat chewed the cord, so she has to get a new. Yeah, she's got to get a new microphone. But she did a hilarious ranty stream today, and it was great. You guys should go check it out. All right, moving on. Best criminal defense lawyer we can find. We, and Flux pointed that out. She's like, we? Who's we? Of course, I will do anything I possibly can to help support Laura through her case, and I will work with her criminal defense team in any way needed. He's pulling a BBB, a behind the scenes.
It is. It's the same kind of stuff. That is amazing because he's like, I'm off this now. I have no business being on it anymore, but I'm still here, babies. I'm still here. I love it.
Woodnick does do criminal. Yeah, but he would never take this case.
No,
Are you
no.
kidding? Are you kidding? Oh, he's probably going to be a witness. Second, just as Trump's, or actually, why don't you start? Can you start here, Tug?
Yeah. Second,
Yeah.
just as Trump's numerous felony indictments and later 34 convictions didn't stop his lawyer from defending him, the filing of criminal charges does not impact the limited scope of my work for Laura. What? No, that would impact the other person. You should have been done by now. Well, I guess they're going to talk about probably filing, trying to kick it up to even a higher court.
Well, he lost the appeal, so they appealed. They lost the appeal. Then he appealed the appeal. He asked for a reconsideration, and he was denied. And not only was he denied, but then they tacked on $36,000 extra that she has to pay Eckert for attorney's fees for the appeal. So now she owes him $180,000.
How much is he? I wonder how much is he getting paid for all of this mess? You know,
I know he's got to be getting paid something.
Yeah,
Clearly,
he is
wouldn't
not
do this
doing
for
her.
nothing.
He's not doing her any fucking justice with this stuff. If he's taking her for a monetary ride, I mean, this is it's pretty disgusting. It
It
is,
is.
you know.
This is why we have to keep track of how many times, how many things has he done that hurt his client. And this is exactly like what BBB has done. BBB has hurt his client. And I don't think anything he has done has helped her. And now he's abandoned her. He's abandoned her right before discovery. And that's very complicated.
Actually, I guess that's makes BBB at least, I mean, rather Gingy at least a little bit more loyal, you know, because you had freaking BBB jump off this case and just dump her flat out, and in one of the worst places he can, right before discovery. God.
Yeah. I mean, he just quit. So, I mean, there's so many negatives for both of these lawyers. It's going to be very hard. You guys are going to have to keep track in your minds of who's worse. Who's the worst lawyer? Because at the end of this stream, we are going to run a poll to see the competition for the worst lawyer in America. And you're going to have to choose between Gingy and BBB. And it's going to be, we're battling it out now. We're comparing, we're contrasting, and we're really letting you see another lawyer and how another lawyer works. And we've been intimately involved with this guy, unfortunately. And
yeah, he's yet another one that's threatened to sue.
Oh, yeah. He threatened us directly. He wanted us to die. Remember, he wanted to read our obituaries.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Very well remember him.
He was going to read our obituaries and throw them in the trash.
One day these people will get their wish. One day for me, but I'm gonna have to stare at for a little longer. It's like, oh no, they're gonna celebrate. Well, you know what? At least I won't be the one in prison that relied on them as a client.
Exactly. You think you're here?
Oh, give me a second here. All right, that work will continue. I am still planning to ask the Arizona Supreme Court to review the paternity case. That petition is due May 15th. Man, it's my birthday. It's on my birthday. What a birthday present. Thank you. Yep. Now we'll move forward with that filing as planned. Nothing about the criminal charges affects any of the legal arguments I've made. No, they probably came about because of part of your arguments.
Yes.
Or will make. So my approach remains unchanged. The appeal has always been about protecting the rule of law, including the procedural rules and the Constitution. Even when someone is accused of a crime, they still have the right to be treated fairly within the limits of the law. I do agree with that. Everyone gets
I do too. And I think that Laura Owens has been treated fairly by the law, and she
very
will
much.
continue to be treated fairly by the law.
I think Clayton Eckert actually got a raw deal under the law, to be honest. You know,
yeah, she got biased. They were biased toward her with all those protective orders. And in fact, she just got another one renewed against one of the victims, Greg Gillespie, just like 2 months ago. And the judge didn't ask any questions, just was like, okay, they should have her picture up like a bad check writer at the grocery store by now at that Maricopa courthouse. And yet they don't.
You would think something would actually be done about all of that. But so far, no. I mean, all of this comes due one day, though. It does. She will definitely pay for all of that.
She will.
So third, while I'm not criminal law expert, based on what I know about Laura's story, I find the indictment deeply concerning and more than a little confusing. What's confusing? Specifically, at least based on what I know today, which may be incomplete or simply wrong. So
look at him. Look at him covering his ass.
Yeah, of course.
Based on what I know today, which may be incomplete or simply wrong. Not that I'm lying. I just might not have all the information because, you know, I made sure I didn't research it. So I don't know my client is a liar.
Well, unfortunately, you know, the people he keeps calling cultists and whatnot, they've told him all of this stuff. So it's really hard to sit around denying everything. But some parts of the indictment appear to be based on fiction.
Appear to be.
Oh, yeah.
Look
He's
at this.
playing the lawyer's semantics game.
Yeah.
For instance, most of the perjury charges are based on things Laura said after she filed the court. She was no longer pregnant. This occurred in a pleading filed on December 28th, 2023. In that pleading, Laura told the court she is no longer pregnant. Why is it significant? Because, as I explained before, perjury cannot be based on just any false statement. The statement must be material. If a statement is not material, then it cannot be supported by perjury charge, even if the statement is entirely false. That's textbook law. So he's not arguing that she's a liar. He's just like, well, win her lie. Win her lie.
Well, yeah. Well, so the other thing is he's completely lying. He's lying about it not being material because he's claiming that the only issue that remained was whether she was pregnant or not, that whether she was pregnant or not, and she was not pregnant. But that's false because Clayton filed for a finding of non-paternity. So he's about to make an argument that doesn't exist. So I'll keep reading. Yeah. That's also not my opinion. It comes directly from Arizona's perjury statute, which requires that a perjury charge be based on a false sworn statement regarding material issues. So what is a material issue? Material means that which could have affected. Oh, by the way, this guy is also the biggest fathead. He has such a huge ego. He always is teaching you something, and he always thinks that he knows things nobody else knows. He's so condescending. Oh my God, this guy's such a dickbag. I cannot stand the way he talks or writes. He is so full of it. He's so full of his own. He sniffs his own farts all day long and loves it. That's who this guy is. It makes me so mad that like he thinks he has to explain to us what material means. Like, we've been covering court cases for years, sir. You do not have to explain it to me. But whatever.
Well, if he were going to explain things, why do we do this half-ass? You know, why not tell the truth about something? If you want to educate us on law, tell the truth.
Tell the truth. And also he lies about it. He twists things to make it fit his ends instead of what it really means. Material means that which could have affected the course or outcome of any proceeding or transaction. Whether a statement is material in any given factual situation is a question of law. Okay, so consider this question. God, I hate the way he writes. If Laura told the court on December 28th that she was no longer pregnant and wasn't having Clayton's baby, how could anything she said after that point change or affect the outcome of the paternity petition she filed against Clayton? I know that's a brain twister, but seriously, stop and think. Laura stated as of December 28th, 2023, she was not pregnant. I miss your Gingras. Yeah, I missed that voice. At the time, the only issue pending before the court was a petition to establish paternity. A judge cannot establish paternity without a baby. That means, in effect, see, he's wrong, though, because at that time, there were two issues. The petition to establish paternity and a new petition to establish non-paternity. So he's leaving out that very important fact, which makes his entire argument moot. So now he's going to say that means as of December 28th, the outcome of the paternity proceeding was a foregone conclusion, a fait accompli. Since Laura was no longer pregnant, regardless of any lies told after that date, so he admits she lied, there was zero possibility the case was going to end with a judgment of paternity against Clayton. Without a baby,
how does that help his client, by the way? Like, for real, how does that help his client?
He's admitting right here to the Maricopa County attorney that his client lied right here, regardless of any lies told after that date. But
Shouldn't
she's
that mean
being
that he would
accused
bail?
right now for fucking lying to a court. She was still in a court, you idiot. She was still under oath, you dumbass. She sat in a trial and she got on a stand. She raised her hand. She said she wasn't going to lie, and then she lied. And you're trying to say it doesn't matter? I hope he gets disbarred. By the way, those of you who don't know this, he was referred to the bar by the judge. So that's another similarity. We may still see
That's true.
Judge Lyko refer Bruce Manskin to the bar. And that's what happened to David Gingras. I've never seen it happen before. The judge in a case I was covering referred a guy to the bar. And she
I've never seen a guy target the judge like he did. I mean, you had to know that's going to go badly.
Oh, he doesn't know that. He thinks that he thinks he knows everything, and he's going to get slapped down. And just like BBB, he's going to blame everybody else but the guy who's at fault, which is the guy in the mirror. Look in the mirror, Gingy. It's your fault this happened. It's your fault you got referred to the bar. We told you to knock it off. We told you your behavior was outrageous. We told you you were going to get in trouble. We said lawyers don't behave this way. At least good ones don't. Jeff told you specifically. You called Jeff. You spoke to him on the phone, and he told you, be better. You don't have to act like this.
That's another similarity.
Yep. He did. He spoke to Jeff. They had a conversation. He was considering going on Jeff's show. And, I think he avoided it because Jeff on the phone with him talked to him the way Jeff talked to everybody who was behaving badly, like a dad, like a disappointed father. Like, listen, I'm a guy with a lot more experience and years under my belt, and I want to see attorneys behave well. You're an officer of the court, and you aren't behaving well. And when Jeff would speak to you like that, man, it hurt.
Imagine if he would have actually listened. That would have been.
I know, because there were moments. Bruce never has these moments, but David does have moments where he's a human being and he's reasonable and even charming and likable. And then he turns around and just becomes
sets it on fire.
Yeah, it's so weird. And I feel bad. I feel bad for him in a way, because there are times when I feel like maybe he can't help it. Like this is a personality disorder or some kind of, social disorder that he has, and he can't stop himself. And it's too bad because, yes, Alexander's in the chat. He can be charming. He can be funny. You've seen some of his jokes and like the things that he's personable when he wants to be. He can be personable. That's something BBB doesn't have. BBB doesn't have that in him. He can't be personal. He just can't. He doesn't have it. But David has a charisma, but he uses it for all the wrong reasons. And he always, like you said, he sets it on fire. Without a baby, a judgment of paternity was factually impossible. For that reason, I don't see how anything Laura said after December 28th, true or not, could have affected the outcome of the proceeding. It doesn't matter. He was looking for a judgment of non-paternity. So yes, it could have affected it. The outcome of the proceeding was decided the minute Laura's pregnancy ended. That's not true. Laura could have lied about 100 things after December 28th, but none of them would have caused a baby to appear out of thin air. Thus, none of Laura's statements were material to the issue of establishing paternity, at least not in my view. Oh God, David, shut up. You're harming her. And, I'm a person who wants to see her get the book thrown at her, but to see a person's own attorney harm her like this in print is really bad.
You think, oh my God, you would think somebody would be smarter than that. But again, I don't know. I feel like we give good advice so many times. And these people.
And they never take it because do they think that we're being facetious or sarcastic? I don't know. They never take it. And I feel like just this once, David, delete this and never write another word about her again. Because she is under
smart.
criminal indictment.
Keep writing them, dude. It doesn't matter. Just keep writing.
Oh, it totally matters.
It doesn't matter. No. It's a good idea. You're doing the Lord's work.
I'm going to hit some super tips real quick. There's a bunch that just came in that are hilarious. Let me see. I'll make myself big. We can still hear Tug. He's just behind the screen.
Clayton's story never changed. Just like LP did, LO kept changing details.
Thank you, Jack's mom. I appreciate that. SF, thanks for the 5.
My pregnancy fell down. My pregnancy did fall down.
Cassandra Zergot, thanks for the 5.
I wish more media would get involved with the WTH case.
Well, stay tuned. If it blows up the way that the Owens case did, there will be. I mean, this is now NBC is reporting it. It's going wild right now. Rad Rhonda, thanks for the $15. There's a bunch of them. Here they come.
Stop making fun of my tramp stamp lawyer. He's my rock. These 2 cockroaches will do anything for that breadstick money. What? Having babies tonight? It was just minor perjury. Okay.
And Jada, thanks for the 5.
I wonder if umbrella masks show up on ultrasounds. Doesn't make me a stalker.
Shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, I love Supertip so much. Supertip.gg/Megan Fox. You can also use AI to send satire and humor to the show in your own words. Obviously, these are not real people. No one is trying to make you believe these are real people. This is just AI technology, and it's a lot of fun. And you can also send a regular written chat. I missed a couple. Wait, I missed one. Hold on. I missed 2. I missed one from Badass Bitch. Loved the name.
Tug should be the expert witness for prosecution of LO mental state.
And Fletcher Boy, thanks to the 5.
Do ceiling cats cause tonsil twins?
I remember talking about ceiling cats.
Ceiling cats. Now we need some Sonichu Medallion references and we'll be all caught up. Oh God. All right, we'll get. Oh, let's hit a couple of regular super chats so we don't get too far behind. You know what StreamYard is doing to me today? It's not keeping my place in the super chats. It just goes right back up to the top when I click off of it. That's really annoying. That's the second time that's happened to me today. Let me see where I was. Rach G, thanks for the 10. In Steve's live, Rachel said that if she please, there's a small possibility that they could make her vacate the other protective orders. Someone needs to get that to Clayton for him to request it. Yeah, I can't wait to catch up on that stream. Reality Steve had Judge Rachel Juarez on. And she's been following the case. She's fantastic. She debated David Gingras. Did I tell you this, Tug? Do you know about that?
Oh, the debate. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Oh God, it was awesome. It was one of these days we got to watch it. We've got to watch it on the stream. It was so funny.
the looks on the people while the debate was going on was amazing. They were like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. And we've got to go over that. Be the bland one. Thanks for the 5. Arms race of stupid. The theory of mutually assured dysfunction. I love that.
It's true.
Bunsen Rockenstone, member for 5 months. Is it time for the rage quit letter? You can't rage quit anymore. Those days are gone. We are a mafia. There's no getting out. You don't get out alive. You get cement shoes if you try to get out of this. You're not getting out now. I've been told we're a mafia. I'm the Don, the capo. Yes, the capo. Slug Entertainment, thanks for the 2. Laura makes me glad I'm single. Thanks, Grandma. You're welcome, Slug. Cynthia Fire Fairy 42, member for 11 months. I'm grateful to Max Lab. He is awesome. Good job. Yeah, me too. Great job.
Yep.
Be the bland one. Thanks for the 2. Better. Mutually absurd dysfunction. Rach G, thanks for the 2. He hates women, Megan. Oh, that's right. So both of them hate women. David Gingras and BBB. They both have this weird misogyny thing. David Gingras treated Greg Woodnick's female assistant very badly, and also the other lawyer, the young lawyer in Isabel Ranney. He treated Isabel like garbage, and he threatened her, and he treated her so badly, which is the exact same thing that BBB does to Randy's assistant. And to any woman, really. I mean, look at the way he treated me, Squid, every woman he comes in contact with, Shara, nothing but threats and insults. And now he's, throwing in with these weirdos who are creating revenge corn and equating, what they're doing? They made thumbnails now with Rosalind's face on them and eggplants near her mouth and mine and naked behinds and things. Like, these people are sick and they are completely misogynistic. That is a common thread. Maybe that speaks of some type of personality disorder. I don't know. But yes, there is some serious hatred towards women going on both of these stories. Spin Dr. D, thanks for the 5. Hangry is losing his little kid voice. Oh, my son is 29 and he's still that 10-year-old in my mind. I know he is. I know. He's growing up so fast. He's getting so tall and like turning into like a little preteen. It is. And he made like this rational argument the other night about why his bedtime should be extended. And we gave it to him. It was like, yeah, when you reach the age when you can clearly and concisely tell me why you want something and why you should have it, and I can't think of a good reason why you can't, yeah, you get it. And so he got his bedtime extended to 9 o'clock now. So he's happy about that. But yeah, he's growing up. Cynthia Fire Fairy 42, thanks for the 2. In the end, she was just full of shit. Yes, that's true. SF, thanks for the 2. Glad there's a Vices reading this tonight too. Yeah. Mama Lori, thanks for the Canadian 5. Rod Sterling, the Twilight Zone host, would be a great voice for super tips. Ooh, let me write that down. Rod Sterling. Yeah, That would be fun. Clear as mud. Thanks to the 5. Poor Dingus doesn't get a month to read the file when he started. To be fair, Foxy Lady, it's not his fault. He knows nothing. Julie, thanks for the 20. Justice served. I wish Jeff was here to see it. Jeff's Southern Baptist voice. The wrath of Christ is upon you, Baby Gingy. I believe Jeff has seen it. I believe he does see it. I believe he knows. Because he lives on through all of you and your memories of him too. And we can all imagine what he would say and how he would react, and his laugh. I can hear it right now. I can hear his laugh. Me telling him what happened, I can hear him bust up. Colleen McVeigh, thanks for the 5. Their ego is too big to accept advice. That's true.
That is very true.
DTG 1032, thanks for the 5. Fox Mafia is like a street crew. You can't just quit. Bread in, bread out.
Bread in, bread out. That's what.
Skipper Trucking, thanks for the 5. Can I get Laura's contact info? My wife doesn't quite add enough crazy to my life. I need more.
No.
Shifter Brains, thanks for the 5. What good could Gingy be to her new lawyer? His answer to any question they would ask, that's before my time. Yes, yes. Julie, thanks for the 5. Keith Morrison from Dateline for Super Chats. Oh, Keith Morrison. Yeah, maybe. Or you know who would be great? Is the guy from the PDF file show. The one where Chris Harrison. Chris
Hansen.
Hansen, not Harrison.
Yeah.
He's the Bachelor guy. Chris Hansen.
Close enough.
Take a seat. I love that guy. That guy is hilarious. All right, we got to the end of those. Okay. Wait, we got 2 super tips. These are going to be funny. Hold on. Becky Fear Wreck, thanks for the 5.
Who's the first person to start complaining about the AI voices?
I don't know. We should run a poll to see who's going to be the first one to complain. Chris Clemens,
BBB.
thanks for the BBB. Chris Clemens, thanks for the 5.
Megan is my binger, and if she wants to be late and gay, that's A-okay. Now stop being fatties and give her your breadstick money, because a fatty like you needs to lay off those carbs.
It pronounced binger. That's so funny. Oh my God. I got to tell Nick that the AI says binger, because that's actually funny for the fat jokes. Binger. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Really good. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's go back to this. We got to get through this because there is a press release and it's so wild. It's in Laura's own writing. She's determined to destroy herself.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of this, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if we should even finish reading this because it's so stupid. I already he's going to go into DNA matches, sonograms, blah blah blah, and all the.
He's going to retry part of the case. Well, the problem is, you could sit here for like 6 hours and argue the case through this, because the stuff that he tries to do is he tries to pretend none of the stuff matters, at the same time telling you, yeah, she lied about this stuff. She actually did.
I know. And then he says, this part is interesting. I am also extremely confused by the last charge, count 7, says that Laura did destroy, mutilate, alter, conceal, or remove physical evidence, exhibits A, 6, and 7, used during the hearing on June 10th. When read literally, that sounds like Laura destroyed 2 trial exhibits. I'm sorry, did he miss the word or? Because there's destroy, mutilate, alter, conceal, or. So any of these things, remove, destroy, mutilate, alter, conceal.
Yeah, conceal is a big part there, you know.
Alter
is a big one. Remove, yes.
She admitted to altering. And by the way, then he says both of those exhibits were filed with the clerk in electronic form, and those trial exhibits still exist. Nothing was destroyed. Well, fine, but she altered them. So despite this strange wording, which I assume just tracks the language from the statute, I'm guessing the state is not actually claiming Laura destroyed any evidence. I'm guessing the focus will be on the word alter. Oh, you don't say.
God, really? Oh,
that she somehow faked and edited those 2 exhibits. He says that both A6 and A7 were short videos, but that's incorrect, I believe. Brad already looked it up, and Brad knows everything about this case. One of them was a photograph which was shown on screen, and I have a picture of it, by the way. I have a picture of it right here. Let me pull it up for you. Here we are in court when she showed this picture. This was one of the exhibits. Let me put this on the screen. I keep forgetting that I can share an image file in here now. I like that about that's one thing I like about the StreamYard changes. I can share an image. Okay, here. This was one of the exhibits that they're talking about. This was literally put into the court where she's showing her pregnant belly. What he is not admitting is that the police or the sheriff, when they raided her house and executed a warrant, they took her devices, a laptop, phones. They have it all. So they know what she did to the images that were on her devices. They're not going to say she altered something that they don't have the evidence of. And I'm guessing, it is my theory, that this photograph right here, or this video, if it was a video, it doesn't
Look at that. That is
altered.
Man. You can look at it. You can look at it from this distance. Yeah, you can see there is something wrong with the way her belly and her back sat. Even pooching your back out, there is something wrong with that picture.
Yes, there is something wrong with it. And he has the nerve to go and say that he doesn't see anything wrong with it, so it can't be altered. It's so stupid. Look at this. The allegation is part of the propaganda spread by Laura's haters over the last several years. Exhibit A6 and 7 clearly show Laura with a large, swollen belly. Obviously, Laura has pointed to those videos as proof that she was pregnant. This is why Laura's critics hate those videos. By this rationale, Uncivil Law is pregnant because he has a giant belly. You know,
oh my God, that's what I keep telling you. That's what's happened to me.
Tug is pregnant because he's got a pooch. You know, don't be ridiculous. This is why Laura's critics hate those videos, because they contradict the narrative they want people to believe. So who's telling the truth about the videos? Is Laura the victim of a false allegation, or did she actually fake the exhibits? He talks about gaining weight, bloating unrelated to pregnancy. Who cares? But here's my take. There are strong reasons to believe Laura did not alter those videos. Here's a few just off the top of my head. As a non-expert, he's not an expert in anything. They show the same swollen belly, he says. All of these look pretty much the same to me, and I see nothing that looks like photoshopping. Oh, well, case closed. We can all go home.
Oh, my God.
A lawyer who is not an expert in altering photos thinks there's nothing to see here, folks. Everybody can go home. So that does it for me. That's a wrap, everybody. Go home. Oh, my God. I mean,
let me think. Would he have any reason to not notice that, by the way? I wonder how many reasons. I would love to know how much money this man has made. I really want to know. I mean, how well do you have to get paid to continue like this? Surely this isn't just obstinance, because I mean, this is damaging shit.
Actually, I think that they are very similar. I think Gingy and Owens are very similar in the way that they both very much enjoy high profile attention, whether it's negative or positive. They do not care if it's negative attention. Whatever it is, it's attention to them, and it gives them a high. I think both of them are very similar like that. Otherwise, why would a guy like him appear like this on YouTube unless he loves attention? Do you remember this? Do you remember this video, Tug?
Oh yeah.
Remember, I mean, this is a guy who loves attention. He has dressed up as Santa Claus. He puts on silly costumes. He makes he's much more entertaining than BBB. I mean, he really is. He's much better at talking on the mic. He's much better at
that almost got people to that level of grace where they were like, okay, well, maybe we should give him a chance.
Yep. No, it really did, because he can be charming and personable when he tries. And like, he had his fluffy cat there, his super fat cat that eats everything, and people fell in love with his cat. And the cat, I heard, had to go to the vet recently. I hope that his cat Aurora is doing better. We all really like Aurora, but this is just unfortunate. He loves the attention. I feel that that's who he is. He loves the attention, and she loves the attention. And it doesn't matter if it's bad attention. They're like bad children. They'll take any attention. as long as they're getting it, all right, let's skip down. He put this video on that he wanted us to see, but I'm with Flux. She was like, I'm not sure I should play it. He'll probably strike me, because he's really strange. Although I do have it in writing that I'm allowed to play any 5 minutes of his videos. So
I don't trust him.
But I don't trust him either.
I
so
mean, you've got a fair use argument, but he's such a scumbag. I know.
Let's not risk it. I'd rather keep the stream up. All right. So let's get to her.
This show, we'll click on that because that picture at the top, I thought, man, are you really going after the prosecutor?
Oh yeah, she is, and here's her. Laura wrote her own press release. This is not advisable for anyone under criminal indictment to do. I do not advise this. This is very poor planning. But here she is. Press release from Laura Owens. As someone who has never been, oh, sorry, I have to get my vocal fry going. Hold on.
What?
As someone who has never been charged with a crime in my life, I am stunned by the 7 felony charges announced against me by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. These allegations appear to be the result of coordinated harassment, misinformation, and public pressure in the aftermath of a paternity case I filed against former Bachelor star Clayton Echard. Since 2023, I have been a target of a relentless campaign led by a group calling itself Justice for Clayton, a faction of Mr. Echard's supporters who built an entire narrative on a demonstrably false claim that I faked a pregnancy. That accusation became their rallying cry, fueling thousands of hours of monetized YouTube content, Reddit threads, and social media attacks, many of which dissected my medical history, mental health, and personal life with obsessive cruelty. Who put her medical history out there in public, Tug? Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, I seem to remember somebody with a fake swollen belly. Who can that be?
Oh, right. Would it have been Laura Owens who provided anyone who wanted it with a Dropbox full of her medical information?
But
And
see,
then she
that's
has
been
the
her
nerve-
lie. But that's been her lie all the way through. She lied about that in protective orders. She lied about that in press releases. Oh.
She did that. She put out her mental health stuff, her medical history, everything, her personal life. She put it out there. And then she asked the internet to look at it. How stupid do you have to be to do that? The abuse eventually moved offline. The group issued a public death threat against my mother and called in multiple false welfare checks to our home. False. One hacked account on Facebook, which there's an interview of the woman whose real account it was, who says that was absolutely not her. Her account was hacked. Her identity was stolen. One person made a public threat towards Laura's mother, and everyone in the Reddit Justice for Clayton group disavowed it immediately, reported it like crazy. And it happened the very day after Dave Neal, after she dropped the thing against Dave Neal. Remember?
Yeah. Well, isn't it fascinating that a person, see, I don't believe any of it. I realize people get threats and craziness, but this person has, in my opinion, 100% created false accounts. They've done some crazy shit out there. So anybody who does that, especially for diversion tactics, I don't believe that.
She pretended to be a person called Chase J. Jones, a black journalist who tried to get Clayton canceled for dancing to a song with the N-word in it, allegedly. She pretended to be an ex-boyfriend of hers named Tag, who sent me multiple emails and a phone number to call, which of course she never answered, claiming to have more information. And when we traced the phone number, it was a Google number that went back to her line. So yeah, she did multiple fake profiles. And so when one death threat, and here she says, the group made a public death threat against my mother. Yeah, this is so false. Knowing the resulting body cam footage would be released publicly and weaponized to humiliate me further. By the way, that is false. The welfare check that was called in by the FBI.
Yeah.
She called the FBI. She told them that she was feeling like self-harm. They called the local sheriff or the police department, and it's on tape. And it's all on Schnitzel Ninja's YouTube page. Schnitzel Ninja has all of this footage. She's got the welfare check footage. She's got the 911 call that was made by the FBI to go and do a welfare check on her because she threatens self-harm as a usual, business as usual. In June 2024, after the conclusion of the paternity case, the group turned its focus to law enforcement. They launched an international letter writing campaign. You're welcome. Yes, I did. Demanding my indictment. Just 4 days after my case was formally referred to County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, Mitchell was photographed smiling. How dare she? Alongside Justice for Clayton member, holding one of their letters that explicitly called for my prosecution. That image was quickly shared by the same group that had targeted me for nearly 2 years, celebrating it as proof that their pressure campaign was working. Now, I have a message for Laura Owens about this particular allegation. I have put it on Twitter. Let's go over to my Twitter account, and this is also for David Gingy, because I know that he'll hate it and it will give him nightmares. So I made this for David Gingy and for Laura to look at and understand what they're dealing with. All right, here we go. This is what I wrote. Laura Owens has put out a press release blaming public pressure on her indictment. Owens has no one to blame but herself, and the public has every right to demand justice for victims the system failed. Rachel Mitchell is an elected official who heard the cries of the public and responded. That's called a representative republic. Yes, it is. A representative republic. Buckle up, Laura. This is justice. And then, of course, I had to put in this hilarious gif of the president kissing the flag, because this is what we have here in America. We have the right to call our elected officials, and Rachel Mitchell is one. You will often hear me say on this show, don't contact anyone unless the people that need to be contacted are elected officials, because that is their job. Their one job. Their very first job is to hear from the people that they represent and people that they don't represent, even people from around the country. And so we will often do on my channel letter writing campaigns to elected officials. We have gotten laws in Oklahoma changed like that. We have gotten Rachel Mitchell's office to take this very seriously, this perjury. And we had every right to do it. And the idea that Laura Owens thinks that she's going to use our basic American rights. Here, I need the music again. She's going to use our basic American rights to somehow weasel her way out of the consequences of her actions. She is wrong. She is 100% wrong. It will never work. You will never take our freedom away from us, ma'am. You will not take our voices. You will not take our freedom to contact elected officials and tell them to put your ass in jail for breaking our laws, for wrecking the lives of several men. We will not stand for it. We are people in this country who care about one another. And when we see that the justice system has failed our neighbor, we have a right to say something. And we have a right to go to those elected officials and say, damn it, do something about this. And that's what we did. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of all of you who sent the letters. I am very proud of every single one of you who came together to do this. And it wasn't just me saying, hey, go do this. It was all of you saying, what can we do? How can we help? Besides sending money, besides raising legal funds, how can we help? And that was something we could do. And we did it. And I'm very proud of it. In November of 2024, Because of my autism, I formally requested disability relating accommodations from Miss Mitchell's office. You notice she doesn't say which ones.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
I don't either. While they acknowledged receiving my request, they never followed up. Never. They never followed up.
What?
Under federal law, that isn't a formality, it's a requirement. They were obligated to engage in a good faith interactive process to determine whether support was needed. Flux, you're asking what is this part for? It's to cast aspersions on the prosecutor. She thinks her defense is I was treated unfairly. And so I can lie and ruin men's lives because I was treated unfairly and I didn't get my ADA accommodation. She thinks that's going to work for her.
Yeah,
They chose not to. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't. The same office has also in October of 2023, after a contested hearing in which the court found by a preponderance of the evidence that he committed an act of domestic violence against me and that there was probable cause he violated that order in April of 2025. By the way, I didn't know that she went to the police in April of this year, but I just found that out last night, so I need to look into that. But when she says that they found he committed an act of domestic violence against me, just know that this is talking about a text message. A judge actually said that equated a text message to domestic violence, and the text message was, "I hate you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, all it's so egregious because they did very much take away any ability for Clayton Echard to post on social media. That was part of what they went after him for. They went after him because he was like, haha, yes, I told them that, I'm not the father. Here's the DNA test. Nope, not the father. Kept telling you. So he posted something like that. There were anonymous posts. She said he had to have posted something making fun of her pregnancy. That was part of the letter too. And he only had, he was the only one that could have had a picture of the sonogram evidence that came up, which was a lie, by the way. She had made it available to the media, others as well. It was out there in a public Dropbox. Somebody, it could have been her for all we know, until at that hearing, it could have been her, could have been anybody. But
she
she
gave
said,
it to
nope.
like 8 journalists.
Yeah. But I mean, it could have been her. Anything that comes up that could have damaged Clayton Echard, I would have said it could damn well be her.
Right.
She and he didn't consider any of that. He was like, nope, I will take your word for it. That is what the judge, that is a direct quote. I'll take your word for it. That should never happen.
I wish we had unlimited time. I would rewatch that duty hearing right now because it's so maddening.
It's terrible.
Oh, God, is it
Pisses
awful?
me off.
It's so bad. In the May 2025 indictment against me, despite sustained pressure from the Justice for Clayton group, the MCAO did not charge me with faking a pregnancy. Instead, they are allowing that narrative to linger, encouraging the perception without making the allegation because they know it cannot withstand scrutiny. Actually, this is not true. The biggest felony she faces, the count 2, is artifice and scheming, right? So and they don't have to spell out exactly what they're talking about. They just have to match it up in the grand jury. They give the grand jury enough information to be like, yeah, we think that they can convict her on this. They have not spelled out exactly what they are accusing her of under that count. And that covers a wide array of things. Artifice, that means, how do I describe that word? Artifice, a fake front, a fraud, right? That could be about all of this, any of it. She's not right here.
I'm just shocked by how wrong she is about so many things. I wonder, if again her lawyer has been sitting there telling her this is what this is, and he's wrong too.
Right. Right. I'm sure. Oh God. They have omitted the most crucial critical fact. I had lab confirmed positive HCG pregnancy hormone blood and urine tests from licensed medical providers in their possession. Yeah, well, she also worked around horses all day long. And if you know what that means, you know that horses carry HCG in their urine. And a woman who owns horses has access to horse urine. And horse urine will absolutely P positive. And you know what? Maybe she has a superpower. I used to joke that she has a superpower like an X-Men. It's like the worst superpower ever. She's like an X-Men reject. What's your superpower? I P positive. You know, like she could P positive. She could P positive for any number of reasons. Or she could be carrying around a little horse urine in her purse, and she could have dipped the stick because Clayton never watched her in the bathroom. And she took her purse in there with her. So, you know, how does, at least I think she did. I seem to remember him saying that. But like, there's not any number of ways that she could P positive on a stick that doesn't include pregnancy.
Well, you don't expect somebody to be a liar to this point, you know, where you have to watch every move they make. Most people give you a little bit. Even the most reluctant person will give you some privacy. They won't follow you into the bathroom and be like, "You got to pee on this stick right in front of me now." And honestly, that was a mistake.
It was a mistake. He should have treated it like they're treating Nick Recator right now at his pee test. The guy goes in with him. And he talks about that all the time. Peeing in front of someone. That's how they do it at drug tests. You have to pee in front of a person. You can't just go into a bathroom. They don't let you do that. But he did. He let her go into the bathroom by herself. And the newest X-Man, HCG girl. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, she got it. She had a positive test. A pee stick test does not equal a baby, period.
That's right.
Yet none of this was included in the indictment, nor was it acknowledged in the press release. Well, the prosecutor's job is not to try your case for you. The prosecutor's job is not to give information that might be helpful to you. That's not their job. They're there to prosecute you. So for that, you need a defense attorney, ma'am. And I recommend you get one right now and shut your damn mouth. Well, or not. Keep talking. This is great. I do want to see her go to jail, and I think at this point she's headed there. Here it comes. Here comes this hilarious revelation. For transparency, members of the press are welcome to contact me directly for temporary access to my patient portal to view the records directly from the medical source. The truth is not hidden. It was simply ignored. She thinks this shit's going to work again, Tug. The patient portal access.
That's so nuts, man. She's way too far away from this. You can throw it out there to the media and try to play a game of pretend. But here's the thing. First of all, you shouldn't be making this statement at all. You were stupid to make this statement. You're locking yourself down yet more.
She's locking herself in. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be their defense too. This is how she's going to play. So this is all she has. Like, that's what you're finding out right here. This is all she has. You never, ever lock yourself in like this.
No, and she doesn't even have a criminal defense attorney yet. And when she gets one, that defense attorney is going to be so pissed that she did this because any defense he could have come up with is now locked into this narrative.
Yep.
Which is terrible. It's not a good one. All right, this is my favorite part. These charges appear to be the product of intense public pressure, not impartial judgment. They reflect a system that responded to online outrage, ignored procedural protections, and moved forward based on a narrative rather than fact. It is difficult not to see them as part of a broader effort to discredit me, discourage me, and make an example out of me. I intend to meet these accusations head on, and I will defend myself fully and relentlessly through every step of this process. We're going to trial, folks.
Well, ma'am, I will have to say that I believe they should make an example out of you. There should not be people running around ruining multiple men's lives. Any anybody's lives. This is why people do not believe victims. And ultimately, that's the thing. Like when you go out there and you get mad because somebody's not believing victims in a crime, look at people like this. Blame the correct people. You put them behind jail. You make it where they don't lie, because right now they're incentivized. Again, we were shocked that an indictment rolled in at all. It took a lot to get that. She knows that too. It took a lot. And yeah, that shouldn't be at all.
So I'm going to put the poll up right now. Who is the worst lawyer in the U.S.? Douchecanoe Esquire, which is Gingy, or BBB Manskin. All right. I know it's tough. It's tough. This is a very tough poll, but this is for the title, you guys. This is for the title of worst lawyer. Worst lawyer in the U.S. I want to see who your vote. Oh boy, Manskin is winning by a lot right now. 81%. Are you kidding me? His client hasn't been indicted on 7 felony counts. I mean, my God. You guys must think he's really bad. Do you remember the letter that he sent? Was it you or somebody else saying that it was defamatory for me to even compare him with Gingy?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, it was. He wrote that to Dave Neal.
That's right. If he wins this for worst lawyer up against David Gingy, it's going to destroy his self-worth, I think.
He's like, don't compare me. Yeah. I mean, literally, he's like, I'm going to sue you if you call me him. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, for the record, Bruce, I'm not voting in this poll. I'm just letting the chat do it. So, I don't have my hand on the scales. I'm actually surprised at how it's turning out. While we are waiting for that, I'm going to hit the rest of the super chats and the super tips. Tug, are you going to stick around for him?
Yeah, I'm here for a minute.
All right, cool. Super tips are a lot of fun. So here we go. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 5.
I've joined the Lug Cartel and enjoy non-nose candy now.
That's fantastic news. We're all very happy that Nick Ricade is clean and sober. Vice Baby, thanks for the 5.
What are you doing, Megan?
I love hearing my dad's voice. And Connor, it's going to be really fun where you can hear your dad's voice soon. Rollaus Robert, thanks for the 5.
This is 100,000,000% my real voice, and I get pregnant every time it is used.
Again, just parody and satire. Nobody believes these are real voices. Thanks for the 5, Stranger Danger.
Bubbles is having a webcaster with Gingras for lawyer tips.
And Cynic and Chief, thanks for the 5.
I want to hear Omar's and Dave Neal's sexy voices on super tips. Give me something to listen to in the slammer.
Oh God. If she doesn't take a deal, Tug, she is going to the slammer. Like if you plead not guilty and you won't take a deal, you're not pleading down these charges. The prosecutor isn't by themselves going to decide, we'll just lower the charge. We'll make this one a misdemeanor. No.
She's screwed here, man, because that she is not going to listen to reason.
Taken at the most jail time she could get. Do you know how many years she's facing for these 7 felonies? Can you guess?
I have no idea.
33 years.
Oh, I was thinking 25.
Now, there's no way.
There's
There's no way she's going to serve that much time. But the least amount of time she could get is like 8. Maybe 8.
I mean, she would eat a few years at least, if nothing else. If she decides to pick a fight with them, she's got a problem. She's actually got a real problem there. But unfortunately for her, she's not smart enough to take a deal.
I know. She's not. It's really bad. It's really bad. All right, SF, thanks for the...
I like to laugh with it.
I know. Well, I can't help but laugh at stupid. It's what we do here. It's and I really do think that she won't learn unless she
deserves to be laughed at.
And she deserves to be locked up. Yeah, locked up.
Right to jail, right away.
SF, thanks for the 5.
First time for everything, even felony charges.
And Jen McCabe's consciousness of guilt. Thanks for the 5.
Laura, call me. We can compare notes. I was going to go with the baby thing, but after the road signs, I couldn't swing it. Bruce has a lot of awesome ideas, though.
No.
Priscilla's Realm, thanks for the 5.
Grab yourself a package of Megan's handheld nuts before everything get out of hand. No ifs, ands, or buts. As everybody knows, Megan really loves her nuts.
you guys are too much. See, I'm game. You can use my voice and say silly and ridiculous things, and I won't get angry. I think somebody needs to send one in my voice about eating a bag of dicks. That would be funny. We're gonna get Judge Bev's voice from the Karen Reed trial. We've got that one's on the way as well. So Bev Canone is gonna be really funny. She has this like whispery voice, and she's always like half asleep in court, except for when she's yelling at the defense in a passive aggressive tone, and in that Boston accent that I can't do, in the Saiba. Let's see. Where did I leave off on the regular super chats? Shift Your Brains, thanks for the 5. What good could Gingy be to her new lawyer? His answer to everything would be, that's before my time. Julie O, thanks for the 5. Keith Morrison, I got this one. I did. But thank you, Julie. Fletcher Boy, thanks for the 5. Lori Vallow saying the evidence will show before every comment. Yes. Frankie 3131, thanks for the 2. Need Yamaha biker voice. I wonder if that would work, because I could try it. I could definitely try it. Rosilla's Realm, thanks for the 2. Go with Ruth Buzzy. Who's Ruth Buzzy? That sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to look it up. Julio, thanks for the 5. How do people create those dolls on X every time I scroll through? It's ChatGPT. Make a swollen belly doorway, one with a wavy door frame from her altering in Photoshop. You know who does those really great is Rogue Mama and Rosalind. Those are your orders from your capo girls. Get to it. Okay, we need an LO doll on ChatGPT with a wavy doorway. Rage G, thanks for the 5. His video is a minute long. It's just pictures trying to prove she was pregnant. Yeah, I'm not showing them because you know what? That's her propaganda. And you know what? I just want to see what happens at trial, and I want to know what evidence they have after going through her devices.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just rearing for that. SF, thanks for the 5. Do you think they will find out if she's the one who did the anonymous threats now that they have her devices? Yes. If they log into her Facebook account, if they get into that account, they're going to find that she has like 6, 7, 8 dummy accounts, probably, including the one that made the death threat. I bet. Cynic in Chief thinks, and oh my God, how stupid of her was it to put that in the press release that this other group did that. She's just lying again. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 2. Was the police report after the raid on her house? Maybe. I'm not sure. If it was, we know that the raid on the house was sometime at the end of April. And she called the police on April 25th. So that falls in the same window. Yes. I was told that the raid happened on April 20th. So if she called on the 25th, it could be like retaliation. I mean, who knows? Techfall 15, thanks for the 2. She can't shut up, and it's going to be great. I am with you. God, I hurt my voice doing the vocal fry. I can feel
that's why sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do that right now.
It hurts. It's hurting now. Dang it. I did that too long. Rach G, thanks for the 5. Currently Gingras, but it could change if there is criminal. Yet she is not going. He can't represent her in criminal court. Fallen Hero 4567 gifted 1 Megan Fox membership. Welcome to the Fox Den. Whoever got that. It's weird here, but you're gonna love it. All right, we hit the end of all the super chats and super tips, and how much fun was that? The super tips were a lot of fun. Thank you guys for taking part and learning a new skill. I know it's hard to learn new tech, but you guys really made it fun. And I appreciate that you're using that. And it supports creators. It supports a creator who created the super tip system. And so that's really cool. I love that. I love innovation and new ideas. And that one is a lot of fun. So I hope that in the future we'll have tons of fun with it. Please do remember, send me your ideas for different voices you would like to hear and see on there. Oh, we need an Amber Heard voice.
That'd be funny.
Oh, yeah. That would be hysterical. We got to get that. All right. Who are we going to send you to? Who is streaming right now that you guys want to go and watch? Let's see.
Shizzy.
I don't know. I'm going to go look. Shizzy or MG? MG's been streaming more recently, and he was going to do Laura Owens too. Oh, yep. Shizzy's on. All right. We're going to send you over there. Please go and raid Shizzy. Tell him that we said that Mug says hello, and be good over there. And Ruth, I got a super chat right under the gun here. Ruth Buzzy died. Yes, she really died, says Rick Reed. Thank you for the 5, Rick. I appreciate that. All right, everybody, I'm going to play for you one of the most popular songs on the way out of here from the Laura Owens case that I wrote. It is called Pond Scum Posse. Yes, you read that right. Oh, by the way, who won the BBB won the poll by 84%. He is officially the worst lawyer in America. David Gingras can breathe a sigh of relief.
Sad panda.
You have done it with 400 votes. Boy, Douchecanoe only got 16% of that vote. Unbelievable. And wow, we got another super chat here that just floated in. DTG 1032, thanks for the 5. Hope your voice recovers. That much vocal fry requires lube. Well, that's how you get mouth babies. Be careful. Be careful with that. All right, everybody. I'm going to play for you the hit song, Pond Scum Posse, that came from one of Gingy's ridiculous blogs that we laughed and laughed and laughed about. And if you have never heard it, be prepared for greatness. Here we go. Good night, everybody.
Pond Scum Posse, baby. Round up the Pond Scum Posse, baby. Hey, hey, hey. You defame me or blame me for some crazy lady Spain game. I was minding my own business when that up sold a tail to the papers in the world claiming she got rails. Sending pics and flicks and texts and shit. Thinking no one will question it. Walk the dog, you don't know me. All my friends are fucking homies. She couldn't sell me baloney, and now a lawyer thinks I fucking know me. Come on, bitch, you ain't on the fake up in marathon. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Pond Scum Posse, baby. Round up the Pond Scum Posse, baby. Hey, hey, hey. Your insults are war cries, explaining leaks to more lies. And slander on your shitty blog posts. Oh my god, you're so cringe, bro. Why you act like this is Jerry Springer, owned so hard by some podcaster? He seems half crazy, maybe drop as a baby, or let pain eat, blasting bullshit on a pond. On his blog, no weirdness spawns. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Come on, bitch, you ain't on the fake, but we love it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Pond Scum Posse, baby, round up the Pond Scum Posse, baby. Hey, hey, hey. You insults for war crimes, explaining leaks to more lies. Slander on your shitty blog post. Oh my god, you're so cringe, bro. Why you act like this is Jerry Springer? I'm so hard by some podcaster. He seems half crazy, maybe dropped as a baby, or let pain eating, blasting bullshit. What a pawn on his blog, more weirdness spawns. Saddle up, we ride a dog. Pond Scum Posse, gearing up the storm and Bastille. Shopping keyboards for steel. Ain't no way, no how, no expert can conceal. That motherfucker was never fucking real.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
Come on, bitch,